Hey y'all, how you doing? It's me. I just got off work, but I wanted to holler at you real quick about what I call a motivating memory that I had today. Ooh, this glare in my glasses is not working, but anyway, we're just gonna act like it's not there. So this is what happened. I was in the office today, and one of my good coworkers, and what I mean by that is that you have coworkers and then you have good coworkers. Coworkers are people that you just are employed at the same place, and you know, you have to work with, near, by, whatever them. Then you have good coworkers who are like really super cool. You get along, you don't have a single bad thought about them, and you really appreciate them for the human being that they are, and you know that if you didn't work together, you'd still be cool and be friends. Okay, so having said that, I was talking to my good coworker, Holly Lloyd. Shout out to Holly. And we were just chit-chatting about a mutual acquaintance, and no, we weren't talking bad. We were just doing one of those, hey, you know her. And I was reminded of something. So here's the thing. Years ago, I threw a bridal shower for somebody. And I just went all out. I mean, I had this concept in my head. It just hit me, and it burned inside of me. It's just something I had to do. Nothing else would work. I just knew this was it, and I wasn't going to settle for anything less. So I went through with it, and it was very elaborate. And it was a red tent themed bridal shower, where we went with the whole Mediterranean theme, and with the throw pillows and the food, and we learned belly dancing, and there were somebody there giving massages. And anyway, so it was really nice. So afterwards, all these people were like, "Oh, that was the best shower I've ever been to," and "Oh, this was awesome," and people were talking about it forever, and "That was perfect. I wouldn't change a thing," and all this other stuff. And it that's not why I did it, but it made me feel good. And to this day, I still have the memory of that event. And I've learned to understand when I have burst of creativity that I can't let go of, no matter what it looks like and no matter how hard it is. And that even in those bursts of creativity, people won't always roll with you, because even with that, I'm trying to be delicate. You ask for cooperation, or you share what you plan, and you get a bunch of, it doesn't take all that. We don't have to do all that. That's too much. That's too elaborate. Why? I'm not spending that kind of money. That kind of thing. And it can be disheartening, but you press on. Because in the end, you will feel fulfilled. You will walk away without regrets, knowing that was what I envisioned. That's what I wanted. And it was pretty amazing. So what does that have to do with anything? That is not me tooting my own horn. What that reminded me of when I walked away from Holly, it kind of burned in me, is that in my most creative moments, and most people who are creatives, when you are given something to do, nothing else will do. Given something to do, nothing else will do. You know what I mean? You can't half step. You can't pretend to do it. You can't shortcut. Because when you do, it leaves you feeling unfulfilled. It leaves you antsy. It leaves you irritated. It just keeps picking and picking and picking at you, going, that wasn't good enough. That's not what I envisioned. That's not what I wanted. Right now, I'm having to deal with that because some promotional things that I did for my upcoming book, Hidden in Plain Sight. It's available September 13th, 2016. So buy yourself a copy. I rushed. I allowed myself to be distracted leading up to it. I tried to do everything for everyone and other things for myself other than completely focusing on it. I released some of the creativity when I should have said, this is exactly what I want. So what did I get? Not what I wanted. It irritated me. I mean, just really upset me, and it was all my fault because I didn't follow through. Because the thing about following through is that it's hard. It takes lots of preparation. It takes complete focus. It takes hands-on. It takes a dedicated team, which I do have. So this wasn't their fault, it was mine. And it takes execution. And of course, it always takes money. But leading up to it, birthing it, is always hard. Something always comes up that you weren't expecting. Something always happens. But when it's done, you're happy with it. And so I want to encourage you not to be discouraged, not to shortcut. Even if people say it doesn't take all that, be it a function, be it book promotion, be it whatever, do it your way. Do it the way you envisioned it. Dot every I, cross every T. Because that's your baby. That's your vision. That's what you were given to do. So do it. Do it the way you were shown to do it. Now, there is a common sense factor that comes in as it relates to having advisors, people around you to help guide you. Like if I said, okay, and my vision for this book is to get a hot air balloon and go up and like have 2 hot air balloons in every city, and then people are gonna have like planes that skywrite, and then okay, that's when someone says, Sharon, unless you have the money to do all of that, unless, you know, XYZ, that's not a good idea. You know, that's common sense. But what I'm talking about is if there's nothing wrong with your idea, but the fact that people just don't want to do it with you. Or people want to do their version of your idea. They're like, oh, you know, it would be cool, do this instead of what you want. In that case, it's best to say, you know what, let me do it my way, and then we can try it your way, and we'll look at both of them and see which looks better. So now, the position I'm in is I'm having to pay a second time for what I should have done right the first time. So there you have that. So I just wanted to encourage you on that. And then secondly, I know some of y'all are like, why is this woman posting Greenleaf stuff like if she is in it, like she wrote it, like, you know, she just, I don't know, are they paying her to promote it? What is going on? Listen, I generally watch, you know, sitcoms, comedies and things like that, or I watch more HGTV than is probably healthy. But first of all, when I find a show that I like, I'm going to run with it. And so I'm there for Greenleaf. 2, when I first saw the promotional things coming out about it, I freaked out. I was like, what? Because I saw some things that made me think about Hidden in Plain Sight. Now, let me just go ahead and tell you, it is not exactly the same like my book at all. But if you like Greenleaf, trust, you will thoroughly enjoy my novel, Hidden in Plain Sight. But the similarities, or I'll give you one similarity, and to show you that it's the same, but it's not the same. In that there's a character who kind of is like a combination between Charity and Jacob from Greenleaf, in that poor thing is in ministry with his father, but he gets no respect from the church or from his family. In fact, he kind of freaks everyone out who's around him because his personality is kind of unique, and baby tries too hard. So when I saw that, I recognized that type of person, but it's not the same story. But they're, you know, the mega church thing and some other things have a definite familiar feel. So if you like the genre that Greenleaf is in, you'll totally like my book. But yo, Greenleaf people, if you need somebody to be an extra or to like be a character, you know, like if Jacob needs another love interest, I'll take one for the team. I'll do it. You know, it may be hard. You know, I may cry, but I will suck it up and be Jacob's love interest. Especially if I can get in a cat fight with Carissa. Even though she look a little scrappy, so that might not be a good idea because, you know, I got a cane as it is. I don't need any more injuries. But anyway, I'm just rambling. I told y'all I was going to ramble. But another thing about Greenleaf, it you know, may apply to my book, Hidden in Plain Sight, is this. There are people, when Greenleaf came out, after the first episode, they went in. Fortunately, they were a remnant, but it was, I don't like that. They just making the church look bad. I don't like that kind of stuff. Church get a bad rap as it is, and we don't need, you know, people just treating the church and talking about us like that. We need to glorify God and not show all that mess. There's enough mess in the world. We need to, you know, and first of all, boo-boo, fix your face. You look like something stink, and you know, maybe you need some prune juice for that constipation that's got you all bound up in, no. Let me tell you my take on it. And I'm sorry if I'm being insensitive. If you feel that way, you're entitled. Okay, I was just clowning. This is my take on it. Wherever you go, there's messy people. Wherever you go, in every walk of life, there's scandal, there's drama, there's behind the scenes stuff. There is good stuff. And trust me, I will be 50 in November. Sweet Jesus and a Snuggie. I will be 50 years old in November. I come from one of those families, I was practically born in the church. You know, when your earliest memory is a pew? Yeah. So I've grown up in the church. I have been in the Catholic church. You know, I was in Catholic school for a while and we had to go to Mass. I've been in the Catholic church. I've been in the Baptist church. I've been in the Charismatic, no denomination, don't know what we is, but we love Jesus church. You know, full gospel. We've, you know, over the years, been to several of these. So let me just say this. I have seen God be glorified and the beauty of who he is and what he is manifest in a church, in the people, in the building. His spirit, sweet spirit was there. I've seen all of that. It's a beautiful thing to behold. I've also been in church where God was trying to be glorified. No, I'm not going to say that. God was being glorified, but people were making it hard to see the glory because they were so messy. They were so petty. They were so busy. They were so caught up in the act of doing church that they weren't tuning into the Spirit of God. They didn't know who they were doing this for. It was all about them. It was all about the show. In fact, I used to joke around and say, you know, I'll go to some churches, I expected Dougie Fresh's music, the show, to play, because that's all it was. It was a bunch of people going through the motions. We're here. This is what church is. You know what to do at what time. Get on your mark. Do it. Exit stage left, and we'll call to rap. So I've seen the best of both worlds, and I believe this, that art imitates life, okay? And my hope and my prayer is that we're not just entertained by Greenleaf, we're not just entertained by Hidden in Plain Sight and anything like them, but that if people have some of these character flaws, if they're living situations that are close enough to give them pause, that they will take the pause, that they will find a solution and step out of the things that are unhealthy, the things that are damaging, and make better choices. This is, you know, these two things are fiction. Hidden in Plain Sight and Greenleaf, they are fiction, okay? So when the actors get off the stage, when I put the pen down, that's it. But this stuff happens in real life, okay? I don't know what's going to happen on Greenleaf. You know, right now I'm kind of hoping somebody gets shot. Mac, I'm looking at you. But I can say in Hidden in Plain Sight, there is good. There are good pastors. There are good church members. There are good, things like that. So this isn't a case to just make, pastors and churches and things look bad. That is not it at all. This is just a story that takes place in the church with people being people. And as long as people are involved, you're going to have mess. You're going to have trials, tribulations, all manner of foolishness. If it can happen anywhere on earth, it will happen in the church. Trust. So don't catch feelings over that. I've seen lessons that can be taken from Greenleaf. That if you're so looking for, I want to see some good, there are some lessons that can be taken away. Take last week, for example. The situation, or was it a week before last? Anyway, the situation with Grace and the daughters or sisters of Tamar, or whatever it's called. Girlfriend who got popped in the eye. Look at what she did. And look at what happened. That ought to make you pack your little happy bags and go somewhere safe if you're living like that. Okay? But anyway, so rather than putting it down, look for the lessons, because there could be somebody in you. There could be somebody super critical in one of these dramas that might look a little bit like you. But that's none of my business. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. But before we get upset and say the church is being made to look bad, believe me when I say every person that is dramatized, every person that I have written about has existed or exists somewhere in this world. We don't know them, but there's a good chance that somebody watching Greenleaf or somebody reading my book will go, oh my God, that happened, such and such a place. Okay? These are just parables. These are parables. Take them as that and enjoy them as that, okay? Don't get all caught up in, see, this is my problem. And I got to get off because I got to get home because I got to catch Greenleaf. We want things to look pretty. We want to have the world see us as victorious, as glorious, as good looking, as polished, as bills paid, as everything. Just everything wonderful. Okay? And we want them to see us as, walking in all power and healing and deliverance and just, mighty and never have a problem in this world because Jesus loves us better than he loves anybody else. Okay? That's not practical. And most of the time when you walk around trying to play that game on people, because nobody lives like that 24/7. Nobody. Don't fool yourself. There are people in the world who need to see you hurt. Not to rejoice, but to see how you come out of the hurt. That's how they know there is a delivering, helping God. They need to see how to get out of whatever they're in. That's your testimony. Stop fronting like, your house is all in order, your marriage is together, your kids are obedient and holy, and all this other stuff. And looking at people like, if you came to my church, if you were saved, if you were this, that, and the other, you'd be living like me. No, because when you go home, you living in a mess. Your kids are a mess. Your house is a mess. I'm just asking for those who have trouble with honesty, be honest. Be honest to the people in the church. Be honest to the people that you come across who aren't in church. Because that's where your testimony is. And if you go to a church where you can't be honest, you're in the wrong church. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? So, having said all that, the honesty isn't pretty. And if somebody were to film your life or any other Christian's life, They would see some moments that weren't pretty. They would see some moments that were dark. They would see some moments where you didn't respond in the best way possible. They would see some moments where you had an epic fail. Okay? But they would also see the victorious moments. That's life. That's what people need to see, and that's what hopefully Greenleaf and Hidden in Plain Sight will bring to you. The whole story, not just the pretty part, because you'll appreciate the pretty part more when you've seen the ugly that led to it, or that valley that plopped down in the middle of the mountain experiences or whatever. Okay, I've talked a whole lot. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I gotta pee. And it's 6:38. I got to get to the house so I can have everything done by the time Greenleaf comes on. Okay? Hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll be chatting with you. Look for information coming soon about when Hidden in Plain Sight goes on pre-sale, so you can go ahead and get yours on reserve. And again, it is going to be released for anybody to buy who wants to buy it. Its official release date is September 13th, 2016. Hope you'll be there for it, okay? Have a good evening. Bye.